For this lesson, we're going to be looking at tessellations. Hopefully you've all come across tessellations and tessellated shapes before. So we're doing a bit of an investigation and you're going to end up creating some tessellations of your own. Now, a tessellation is copies of a shape that can be used to cover a surface without leaving any gaps. The pattern is called a tessellation. So there are tessellations all around us. You can see them in walls, in patios, pavements, and sometimes it's the standard shape, but they can be actually used and arranged in different and unusual ways. And you might find that an unusual shape will tessellate that may not look like it will when you first see it. You can sometimes tessellate with two or more different shapes, and they still form that tessellation with no gaps. We've seen regular tessellations. We're going to be moving on and looking at unusual tessellations. Here's some examples. As you see, this has been created in the tessellations of different dogs, upside down, different ways. Here we've got some tessellations of some fish, and if you see the fish swimming one way, tessellate with the fish swimming the other way. Horse riders and horses. Again, fish. So we are going to try to make some tessellations of our own. To start off with our tessellations, what you're going to need is some sellotape, some scissors, a pencil, some plain paper, and a bit of cardboard. A bit of card. I've cut it out of a cereal box, but you can use an old birthday card or any card you have in the house. Now, I have cut this card into a rectangle, and that is 6 centimetres by 8 centimetres because it's quite a good size for A4 plain paper. If you've got bigger paper, fantastic, but A4 is fine. Okay, the first thing I'd like you to do is get your pencil, and if you put your rectangle landscape, you're going to do a wiggly line from the top to the bottom. And then you're going to do a wiggly line from side to side. Okay, so a wiggly line top to bottom and a wiggly line side to side. Then you're going to get your scissors and you're going to cut along the wiggly lines. And once you've cut them in half, do remember where the top and the bottom were, so we can keep it in the correct order. So there we are. That you can see there is my original rectangle, and if I open them up a little, you can see that's a bigger version of the rectangle. Here's the fiddly bit. Okay, this is my first corner. Can you see the corner up here? I want this to face the middle. So I'm going to flip it over so the corner is now in the middle. And I'm going to do the same with each one. I've got this one here and I'm flipping it over so the corner's in the middle. I'm flipping it over so the corner's in the middle, and I'm flipping it over so the corner's in the middle. So you've got a bit of a strange shape you have created. This is where you take your sellotape and you're going to stick carefully, as accurately as you can, you're going to stick your 4 pieces together. Okay. Now this is your shape And remember, we just did random wiggly lines. This is your shape that will now tessellate. So I'm going to start in the top corner over here. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw around it. Again, try and be as accurate. Oh, try not to wiggle. As accurate as you can, drawing around your shape. Now, somehow this should now fit. I'm going to keep it always on this side, so I'm going to try and turn it around. No, that doesn't fit there. Oh look, if I turn around again, fantastic. That shape fits. So I'm going to draw around it again. Okay. And then I keep on spinning. No, that bit didn't fit in. Aha, yes, this bit fits in here. And I'm drawing round again. Keep on spinning, keep on spinning. There we are, it fits in here. As you can see, I've not been very accurate there. It's really important you're as accurate as possible. And you can keep on going until you go off the page. Now, we should also be able to tessellate under here. Fantastic, that does, it fits perfectly. Just check it's not that side. No, definitely not. Again, can you see I'm always keeping it on the same way up, the same side. And then you can keep on spinning, keep on spinning. Fantastic, it fits there again. And you have just made a tessellating shape. And this pattern will be able to repeat and repeat and repeat as long as you've been really accurate. You can now colour that in, you can make it nice colours, and that is one way of making a tessellating shape. We can also tessellate common shapes that we know, like the example I showed you before of the dogs and the fish. As long as you're finding a pattern that's going to tessellate, you can basically tessellate whatever you like. So here's a very simple tessellation. So I have drawn this shape on the bottom and I'm going to cut it out. Now I'm not just going to get rid of it, so I'm going to be very careful with my cutting. So in order for this shape to continue tessellating, I can just stick this above it. So here we are, I can have a cat, I can have a horse, a dog, and I can continue to tessellate this shape. And I can either do them in the same next to each other or I can stagger them slightly. And that's a very simple tessellation of an animal head. And there's one here before I did with as a fish. So as you can see, the nose of the fish I took from the back tail, and the top fin I cut out to create a bottom fin. And again, that would continue to tessellate. So here are some wonderful examples of last year's Year 7s where they chose to incorporate tessellations into their project. So have a look, hopefully you get some inspiration from all the different sea life creatures they have chosen to tessellate.